Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Asaf Goldberg, and I lead the commercial operation here at CyberReady. Throughout the session, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to share them in the Q&A box. We'll do our best to address them at the end. I'm truly excited to welcome you to today's session, and especially to be joined by a very special guest, Dominik Prochazka, CTO and Head of Information Security at AGEL Group. Dominik brings a wealth of experience and insights that I'm sure you will find incredibly valuable. Hi, Dominik. Welcome. How are you today?
Hi, Asaf. Thank you. I'm fine.
Great. Great to have you with us today. I'll highly appreciate if you can share a bit of a background about yourself and about AGEL Group.
Great, thank you. So, as Asaf already mentioned, my name is Dominik Prochazka, and I work for company AGEL. AGEL is a company which runs private healthcare and is active mostly in Czech Republic and Slovakia, as you can see on the map provided. We run hospitals, clinics, some pharmacies, laboratories. We even have some in-house development, and there's around 16,000 employees in the group. And our goal is to deliver a high quality and patient focused healthcare that's accessible in all the regions. So that's short introduction from me. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Before starting our session with Dominik, I would like to share with you that we conducted a major survey and found that companies usually come to us for one or two key reasons: protect your company and/or compliance and reporting. The common triggers for these two key reasons are: the first trigger, you are under pressure to be compliant. You need a quick and easy solution. The second trigger, you want real behavior change and measurable risk reduction. The third trigger would be you are looking for a fully automated and scalable program. And last but not least, you have a slim security team and you need to take security awareness training off your back. Another interesting fact that during 2024, there was a 341 raise in phishing attack. Why is it happening? Probably because the typical approach is not working. No real training program, just the simulations or videos. Point solution don't connect the dots. Manual non-adaptive plan cannot keep up. Dominik, what companies like yours have to lose from being breached? Are you seeing those numbers rise in your company and surroundings?
Well, I'll answer first for the rise in the cyber attacks. I can see the rise as well in all our systems. I think the main reason is obvious. There's AI, and it's really easy to launch any campaign like this. So phishing emails are really on the rise. So that's really bad for us, and we uh, we try to get rid of it as much as possible. And for the second part of your question, of the disruption of our healthcare industry, I'd say that cyber attack in healthcare is like similar to all the others. It really can cause harm. I mean, like it can stop the access to the patient data. It can delay the treatments, cancel some appointments, and like even in some scenarios, I'd say it can put lives to risk. Doctors and nurses, they can't really do their jobs if the systems are down. It's not just about the data, it's about the patient safety.
Yeah, definitely. We see all of the example. We are familiar with the example that you mentioned, and on top of that, there is all these privacy aspects of the HIPAA in your industry sector and other which are related to data privacy. So thanks for sharing this with us. Another interesting point I'd like to focus before we start the dialogue and getting the examples from Dominik, that awareness is knowing, readiness is acting. And in cybersecurity, that's the difference between an incident and a disaster. People don't need another computer-based training. They need instincts. They need training that becomes second nature, like muscle memory. Take a minute and think about the following example. Asking any athlete if knowing how to run fast makes them Olympic ready. In sports, you need to train, eat right, go to the gym, and see videos from previous competition to know your opponents. Exactly like in cybersecurity. You must have a training program to make the employee ready when the real attack arrives. So Dominik, as someone who is leading security effort at a large dynamic organization, I'd love to get your perspective on a key issue. What are some of the biggest cybersecurity training challenges CISOs are facing today, especially in fast-moving, high-pressure environment like yours, in AGEL, of course?
Well, the challenge is that the people are busy, both our employees, but also our security team. It's really hard to get everyone to care about training when they already have so much to do. And for us, for our security team, managing a training across the whole company takes time, and we often don't really have so much time.
All right. Thanks, Dominic. Great points. Many CISOs tell us they struggle to make training both effective and easy to manage, which is exactly what we focus on solving at CyberReady. The next one would be, we know that employees today are constantly juggling meetings, deadlines, and a lot of distractions. In your experience, how does this busy daily routine affect their ability to engage with security awareness training?
Well, most people don't really have time for long and complicated trainings. It's not really on top of their priority list, I'd say. If the training doesn't really fit into their daily schedule, they'll just ignore it. So especially in the jobs where things are moving so quickly, like the healthcare or support centers, that's especially true.
Exactly. And that's why making training short, automatic, and part of their routine is so important. When it fits naturally into their day, employees are more likely to engage and actually learn from it. Great points. Dominik, managing security awareness across large organization can be resource intensive. How has partnering with CyberReady help you grow and scale your program without needing to expand your team or increase workload?
Well, I think that the best about CyberReady is that it's mostly run by itself. What we do is we just check, like now and then, uh, maybe we just adjust a little bit of content. We need to check like the bounce rates, but we're not really spending hours and hours setting up or managing the system.
Right. And actually, that's what we are seeing across many organizations. With CyberReady, teams can run impactful training at scale without needing more people or extra work. That's great. Here's a funny question. Juggling different countries and languages sounds like a circus act. What kind of magic tricks has CyberReady pulled off to make your life easier across all these regions and cultures?
I don't really know if it's magic, but it really helps when the training feels local. So when the language, the style, and even some of the names that are used in your campaigns, I think that the people are paying more attention when it really feels like it was made for them, not just a translation.
Okay. I can also share with our guests that most of our global customers share that using CyberReady globally means teams everywhere get the same high-quality training, which really help build a unified security culture, especially when we can provide the training in 42 different languages, which is a super advantage to global companies. How do you measure success, Dominik, when it comes to employee readiness? And how has your view of result changed since adopting the CyberReady program?
Well, before adopting the CybeReady program, we were just looking only at the fact that did everyone finish the training? That's like all. We just needed to see that the training was finished and it was all okay. Now we really care more, like about the behavior of people. Like, are they spotting the phishing emails? Are they reporting a little more? And is the is the open rate like dropping? That's something that tells us that the training is working.
Okay, very interesting insight. Um, Here goes another one. What's the buzz from the team and bosses since CyberReady started? Cheers, complaints, or curious questions? Like, what are the feedbacks coming from the field?
Well, the important for me is that there are no complaints, and that's really good. People don't feel that the training is a burden, and also the managers, they like the reports, they are clear, and employees don't feel that it's getting in the way of their work. So overall, it's good.
Very nice, very nice. I'll take this as an interesting question and try to elaborate a little bit more from our CyberReady experience in the last 9 years. Some interesting examples. Two short and funny stories we heard from our customers that use the CyberReady platform. So here goes. Story number one. A CISO told us that one day he was walking back from lunch when his employee passed by and said, "This time you couldn't fool me. I was totally ready for that simulation." The CISO smiled, but had no idea which simulation the employee was talking about, since CyberReady sends simulations randomly across different days and different times. What made this CISO happy wasn't knowing the details, it was knowing his employees were feeling confident and prepared. That's the first message, which is uh, um, very valuable. The second story, a CEO of one of our customers received a phishing simulation inviting him to click a link to see photos from the company's 2024 end of year party. He clicked the link and then remembered there was no party. Worried, he immediately called CyberReady CEO, because they are friends, and asked if his click would be counted in the company's statistics. Spoiler alert, it would absolutely would included in the statistics. So some nice examples. Dominik, how much time are you personally or your team investing in running the training program with CyberReady?
Well, as I have already mentioned before, we spend very little time with CyberReady. I mean, we are checking the reports. We try to keep the email list clean. Sometimes we change the content a little bit, but overall it just runs on its own. Like, even sharing the end results with the managers is very quick and simple. I like the automation of this process. So just very little time, just a few hours per month. We didn't even have to employ someone new, so that's a good thing.
Great, great. When we conducted a kind of a short research, I think about it was like 1 or 2 years ago, with all of our thousands of customers around the world, the average time our main point of contact allocate, it's about between 1 and 1.5 hours a quarter, due to the facts of what Dominik just shared, fully automated, embedded methodology, all these smart goodies which are included within the platform actually make it so valuable and save a lot of resources, especially time for the security team. So great point. I think we are heading towards the last question. If a fellow CISO asks you, Dominik, what would ask you what changes in employee behavior with CyberReady, what would you tell him?
I I tell him that people seem more careful. They try to think before clicking. I've personally received some messages from my colleagues, and they were sending me screenshots of some emails that if it's okay to open this and stuff. It didn't really happen so much before. So I'd say more careful. And the good thing is that they are reporting more suspicious emails. We really see the rise of those reports, and that's the goal: getting people to pause even when their days are so full. So I'd say this.
Great, great. So, first of all, Dominik, great stuff. Very powerful and interesting insight that you shared with our guest, with our audience, and I would like to thank you for that. I would like to share with our guest a little bit about what does the platform include. So, as you can see, training is the backbone of the training program. That's kind of the middle row. The content is sidekick to it, which is the second part over here. And the top row represent parallel lanes for employees to understand their training position as opposed to other department and entire organization, and including offline training. For example, offline, you can run some presentation, training decks, or postures for for the blue collars employees, and of course, getting the personal scorecard, as I mentioned, breakdown between different departments. You can run competition between the employees or between departments. So that's basically how what the platform includes. In the training, you have the phishing, smishing, and reporting button against suspicious or malicious emails. And below, the content includes like security bites, more than 60 different topics. We are about to launch courses, about 13 different topics, short videos with exams, which is just around the corner, live analytics and dashboard, and of course, read and sign for company policies and procedures. Let me take you kind of a quick tour into the demo so you can have a sense how it looks like. Dominik, can you just confirm that you see the dashboard?
Yes, I do.
Great, thank you very much. So this is the CybeReady platform. It's a web access based on Power BI. On the left-hand side, you can see the menu. This is the dashboard. You have the training with all the different features and modules which I've mentioned. For each one of them, there's the equivalent section for the analytics, and there's also internal communication for personal scorecards and communication for the end users or for the department level to get the feedback. Let me give you kind of a quick example how the phishing training looks like, because this is one of the main capabilities. So the platform always suggests a set of 10 different simulations that will be launched randomly between your entire workforce. You can edit each one of the simulation, so everything is editable. Okay, and you can also create your own simulation if you want to be creative and get something which is not offered via the local editor. Once the user does a mistake, let me check this one, for example. What is a mistake? Hits the link, opening attachment, sharing credential, then he will be directed to a short, I'm talking about 30 to 40 seconds reading. That's it, as you can see, branded, short explanation, and going over the 4 suspicious signs which are relevant specifically to this attack. The next month, the user will receive a different simulation. Okay, and in the different simulation, that puts this one, for example, in, I don't know, Czech language. Let's respect our guest. And when the user clicks, now the 4 suspicious signs will be different. And of course, everything is supported in the user native language. It is fully supported at any kind of endpoint where the user consumes email. In the analytics part, you will see all the smart analysis, breakdown by campaign every month, how many attacks have been sent, click rate, employees, breakdown by location, breakdown by department level, breakdown by simulation, which simulations are high rated and which are low. You will see each one of your user and his track history, his journey, and also the high-risk users. Okay? And this, once you hit the link, the machine goes for 3 consecutive months, and before the end of, you will see everything in the active mode, what is running, and 3 weeks before the end of the quarter, the machine will suggest a new set of 10 simulations, which are mostly relevant for your organization based on our machine learning analysis. So all in all, the organization will meet about 40 different scenarios, 4 times 10, and saves you all this, do it yourself, because there's the machine learning that analyzed to make sure you are trained based on your organizational performance. Training decks, a lot of presentation. We're going to save you these 4 or 5 minutes going to AI by yourself. Everything is ready, branded with your company logo. 4 or 5 short slides where you can run training by yourself to all your employees or to specific groups, or you can just convert them into PDF and send them specifically to a professional group. Postures that you can print for each one of your different departments. They are also supported, everyone, in all different languages. So all you need to do is just choose, print it, save all these marketing or Marcom resources that other companies tend to allocate, or you can even use them as PNG for screensavers or internal uses with your end users, with your employees. We have smishing that allows you to run a mobile campaign. You can choose out of 30 different scenarios, okay? And you can choose specific simulation, add them to the campaign, upload a specific list of phone numbers, mobile numbers, and then you can run a test just for yourself or the entire bulk for this chosen simulation. You can run the campaign immediately to the chosen numbers, or just to run a scheduled campaign between different dates and hours. And of course, all the simulations are editable, so you can choose and twist and change the sentences or the examples as you wish. And of course, in the analytics part, you will see all the smart insights, the click rate for each round, for each campaign. Then you can see the breakdown by department level. You can see the breakdown by location. It's all taken from your user list. We can integrate with your Active Directory if you have Azure or Google Workspace, or just you can share your user list with us. And each user is assigned to a location, to a department, and based on that, we know how to train them. So you got all this analysis. You can filter and know your weakest points or your strength. And of course, each of the simulation to know which are the high rated and the low rated. Quite easy to navigate via the Power BI capability. There is the dashboard where you can see all the modules in one unified cockpit. The phishing, the awareness bites, the fish cage for reporting button for suspicious email, audit ready, click and read and sign, and all the KPIs on the right-hand side online to know your performance each and every moment. One of the main valuable capabilities is that you can share this information with your top management, with the board. One example that we created, training progress report. TPR, in a click of a button, the machine generates between 5 to 10 seconds a managerial presentation. This presentation actually imports the key insight straight from the dashboard. It starts with a summary of the last 3 months, then follows with facts and figures, location, languages, features, and modules. Then you have the personal scorecard, the 3 leaders. Then you have smart KPIs of your organizational training. Then you have vulnerability by department in percentage, in numbers. Some notable training examples, such as the most clickable simulation for veteran employees or for new employees, or the least click simulation, the most open awareness bites, and then you have a summary of the last 12 months. It saves a lot of time and effort for the security team that usually tend to generate and work around the clock to generate this by themselves. And it's also important to mention that each of our customers is allocated with a dedicated customer success manager by CyberReady that leads him through the onboarding phase and through the ongoing operation. So that was kind of a quick insight into the dashboard. There are a lot of other capabilities, and I'll be happy to share them with each and every one of you separately. So, okay. Security leaders need efficiency. Employees need clarity. CEOs need peace of mind. CyberReady delivered all of them while saving time and reducing complexity.